WIBTA if I told my friend his age gap relationship is creepy and borderline predatory? I want to start this off by saying that I don't think age gap relationships are inherently creepy, weird, or anything. I'm talking about a specific situation that I'm about to explain. My friend Daniel is almost 24 and has been dating his GF, Jessica, 30, for nearly 6 years now. They became official 2 days after Daniel's 18th birthday but have been knowing for much longer than that. Their parents have been friends forever, so the first time they met Jessica was 6 and Daniel was a newborn. But that's not the creepy part. According to the both of them, Jessica has had a crush on Daniel since he was in middle school, and if you do the math you'll find out she was between the age of 17 and 20 at that time. She used to blatantly flirt with him when he was still a preteen, compliment him, get jealous if a girl his age tried to interact with him, and tell him how she couldn't wait for him to turn 18 and marry him. They are not married or engaged yet, but it seems like they are going strong, so she meant it. If that's not weird enough, they don't look their age. She looks much older and he barely looks legal, to the point they have been mistaken for mother and son more than once, and, while he refers to her as a woman, she refers to him as a kid, i.e., my BF is a good kid. Now I might be reading too much into it, and they are both adults now, so no one can tell them anything, but to me it feels like she's into young people. Daniel is really easy to influence and she groomed him until it became legal. I'm sure he's starting to realize I'm feeling more and more creeped out by his relationship. I don't know if I can act like I find this normal, but I also don't think it's my place to tell him. Update 1. Context: my friend Daniel, 24M, has been dating Jessica, 30F, since he was 18, but she has been grooming him for much longer. So in the end I didn't did or say anything, someone else did. I need to say their families don't know about the grooming part as it happened when the parents were not present. However, Daniel's sister, Gemma, 22F, knows, and she is very sensitive to this topic. She was that girl in school who grew big breasts way too early and was constantly sexualized both by our classmates and grown adults. Gemma was never too happy about her brother's relationship. She even tried to make their parents reason about this, but they never believed her. Other than some passive-aggressive comments towards Jessica now and then, she never said anything, until she did. Gemma knows I agree with her for what concerns their backstory, so she immediately told me when this happened. She was with Daniel and Jessica and they were talking about relationships and sexual stuff when Jessica joked about how disappointed she was the first time she slept with Daniel, which, as you can imagine, happened the moment he was legal, because he was much bigger and hairier down there compared to what she had been fantasizing for years prior. Gemma didn't keep her mouth shut and pointed out that what she was saying was that she was more attracted to a prepubertal boy than to a fully developed man, which is creepy. Both Jessica and Daniel downplayed it. She said that she never did anything with a child, because it would have been illegal. That's why she waited years before doing anything. To say this sent a chill down my spine would be an understatement. But it's not over. Later Gemma had a conversation with Daniel about grooming. She explained what it means and made some very specific examples. Daniel disagreed because, according to this logic, Jessica would be a groomer too, which Gemma confirmed. Daniel didn't reply, but she could tell by his expression that he was thinking about it, so he might be starting to connect the dots. I don't know how this is going to evolve. Daniel is very codependent, so I doubt he will break up over this, but I think he deserves to understand the truth whether he wants to stay in that relationship or not. Update 2. I followed some of the advice I received on my past posts. I decided to say something with the help of Daniel's sister. So I told him the story of a girl I know who was groomed by an older person, except it was actually his story with some changed details. He was disgusted by this story and agreed it sounded predatory, so I revealed the truth and pointed out it's what happened to him. He tried to defend Jessica, saying it was a different situation, so Gemma bluntly told him she's sure Jessica is indeed a pedophile. This shook him, but he was not convinced, so he decided to confront Jessica about it. She told him me and Gemma were just jealous and manipulative. She tried to play the victim, but when he asked her to look him in the eye and tell him she never had sexual desires involving children, she couldn't. She started crying and confessed what Gemma assumed. She said she feels horrible about it and she never acted on it. She even begged him to stay with her or she might end up actually doing something illegal and immoral she doesn't want to do. He asked for a break and suggested she gets professional help regardless of how it will end between them. He still cares for her despite what she did. He doesn't think she's a bad person and it's not her fault if she has a problem as long as she doesn't hurt any child. I only partially agree. She didn't choose to be attracted to children, but she chose to groom a child for years, but it's not my place to judge.